Welcome to Marriage Monday with Jeremiah and Savannah Jennings. The Jennings own Growing Green Landscapes and are very happily married. In this podcast, Jeremiah and Savannah discuss the wins, losses, good times, bad times, and everything in between pertaining to owning a business while maintaining a healthy marriage along the way. We hope you enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to me and to Savannah that you listen to these Marriage Monday shows. It's a true honor to come to each and every one of you listening and just try to bring a little bit of advice, a little bit of inspiration along the way, and help out however we can. With that being said, I know that this is a weekly thing that is kind of gone. It's gone pretty smooth so far. We've implemented this Marriage Monday things about 6-7 weeks ago, something like that. And Savannah actually recently went back to the hospital. We might talk about that the next time she's on the show. But went back to the hospital in her nursing career and is now back at the bedside. So she works 12-hour shifts, and her schedule changes pretty frequently. So sometimes she works weekends, sometimes she doesn't. And this week she had a pretty crazy work schedule. So the days just fell where she was working, and she was not able to be on today's podcast. But what's going to happen is, even when she's not on, we're still going to talk about marriage things. She might not be on every single week just with this new schedule. And then baby coming up here within like a month and a half, a little less than a month and a half, literally like 5 weeks. If everything goes as planned, should be here in about 5 weeks. So we are very, very excited for that. But Savannah might not be on every single episode, but we're still going to talk about marriage stuff on Mondays. And I'm going to try to hit it. And it might be where I interview married couples or whatever. And this is an ever-evolving thing. This is just an idea that we had, and I wanted to just put it out here and just start doing it and see where it goes. So everybody listening is just like here in the very, very beginning stages. And I don't know where it's going to go in the future. Honestly, I don't know. I think people like it. I think y'all enjoy it. If you do, reach out and let me know, because those messages are the ones that keep me going. They keep us recording these, putting out content 3 times a week. That's a lot. Like, I know there's a lot of people in our industry that put out 3 times a week episodes, and then obviously more than that sometimes with like Paul Jameson and the Green Industry Podcast puts them out daily. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of commitment, a lot of time. Much respect to him for what he does there, and everybody else who puts out episodes 3 times a week. But don't let it fool you. It is a lot of behind the scenes work to get 3 out, and so it is. It's like I said, it's an honor, it's a joy, but it's a lot. It's a lot on the schedule. It's a lot on the plate this time of year. But we love doing it. So if Savannah's not on the show here on an episode or 2, or I don't know what the future holds, like I said, just know she's not gone anywhere. Probably just had a crazy work schedule that week or something like that. But wanted to come in here today, and this is going to be really short. I know we talked about Marriage Mondays. Might not be always the long format episodes. Just something to pick you up, get you ready for the week, maybe some conversation starters for you and your wife, and just kind of help you get back on track. And 2 things I want to talk about today for a very short period of time here is I was at church this week, and the message was on love and marriage is very, very important. The message was on why money was a big thing was the point of the message, and how to be good stewards of your money. And this is something that I think is crucial for marriages. It's something that Savannah and I still work on now. Like, we still have a long way to go. And I think a lot of other people out there who have been married for 20 years will still work on this aspect of their marriage. Is how are we going to spend our money wisely? How are we going to put it in the right places, invest in the right places, give your tithe and offerings correctly, things like that. And the kind of spinoff of the whole money topic was the preacher kind of got into what were the top 2 reasons for divorce. And those 2 reasons were finances and intimacy issues. And so for 5 or 10 minutes here, I just want to kind of go through and talk about some things that I thought about during this message and kind of how it's real life. Like actually this really applies to each and every one of us out there. On the money topic, I think something right there is we go back to episode 1 or 2 of this whole series, and we talk about communication. And in that episode, I hit like multiple times, and we've talked about it multiple other times, of how important the communication is. And if you don't have that communication, and then you're just going to fall into a never-ending downhill cycle. But if you do have that communication, then it's going to cycle in your favor, and you're going to talk through things, and things are going to work out for you. Excuse me. But using your money, spending it wisely. So in the church world, if you're a Christian, then God commands us to be wise with our money. Like, He's not going to give us more than what we can handle. I say that monetarily, like, if you can't be a good steward of small things, why would He give you bigger things to be a good steward of? So you got to start handling your money wisely at a young age, or whenever you get it. Maybe it's not a young age, but just whenever you have any sort of income, you need to be wise with it. And we're going to talk about finances on another episode probably, and hopefully get a guest on to talk about that. But it stuck out to me of how is finances and intimacy top two things in divorces. And it's crazy because the percentage of divorce now is like literally over 50%, which is wild to me. Absolutely wild. Like, we're in this thing for the long run. Divorce is not even like a word in my vocabulary. I don't really even like saying it on here, but we're just going to talk about it for a little bit. And I don't know. It's just crazy important to me to set these standards up in the beginning. And where I was saying about communication a few minutes ago was, if you don't start that communication when you're engaged or when you're dating about your finances and how are we going to spend it, then you're going to have some big issues come back and bite you down the road. And the communication thing, so I don't want to beat a dead horse. I really don't. I don't want you to tune out just because he says, oh, well, here we go in communication again. That's not what I want to do. But what I do want to do is talk about, for literally 2 minutes, of the importance of it. I was recently dealing with a situation of lack of communication for a long time about things. And the thing that we've talked about, I think in a previous episode, maybe one or two ago, was you got to have a visionary, and you have to have a planner involved in marriage. So, like, I'm the visionary in ours, and Savannah wants to know, like, the details. She's not the entrepreneurial mindset of just do it and we'll figure it out. She wants to know, like, where's the money coming from? How are we going to do this? Things like that. And that's okay, because, like, each marriage needs one of each. But if it's not clearly defined roles of who's what, and then in those roles you both excel in them and you accept the other one for those, then you're going to have some issues down the road. So in mine and Savannah's case, if I'm not like I'm the visionary of the company, and I create where we want to go, the vision of see where we want to be in 10 years. Savannah wants to know how we're going to do it and where's the money going to come from. That's just the mindset that she has. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If we don't set that straight about our money right now and about how we're going to be good stewards of that money, then what are we going to be at in 5 years? Like, if I'm just saying, we're going to spend, we're going to make vision, and we're going to get there, and we're going to build, that's not going to be okay. Because could we survive? Yeah, we could probably survive. But I don't think that would be in Savannah's best interest, or my best interest, or marriage's best interest, because everybody would suffer from that. There would not be a positive to that situation at all. So one thing that I've learned and seen along the way is that the visionary is important, but the planner, the detail person, is just as important. And I think if you're listening in, a lot of guys that listen to the show, the entrepreneurs out there, don't discount your wife. Don't get mad at your wife if you're the one, if she's the one who wants the details, the plans, and you're just the visionary of the company, and you just say, hey, let's figure it out. It's not that she's not supporting you. It's just that's not the way she thinks. And that's something that we were talking about the other day, and it was they were saying, well, she just doesn't get behind me. She doesn't back me. This is the way it's been. And it's not necessarily that way. It's not that she doesn't back you. It's just that clear communication hasn't been involved of maybe what the vision is. That's something that you have to think about, is if you are the visionary, if you're the one listening in and you're the goal setter person, you see where you want the company to be. If you see it in your mind, you have to play it out for your wife or for your husband, for them to understand and see along the way to be able to support you. Because if they can't see that to support you along the way, then how are they going to be able to do that the right way? And so that hit me in yesterday in the message was with the money and the intimacy, lack of intimacy. Like if you're not talking about those things, then your marriage can get in a really, really bad problem. So back to the whole message, and God, that was a really, really long rabbit trail there. Probably got nothing out of that, but back to the message before we wrap this thing up is the importance of being wise with your money, and the intimacy issue was the problem in marriage. So I don't know what the real definition of like why people are getting divorced because of their money. I don't know if it's because people are getting in debt or they're not making enough money, they're spending too much. I don't know what that is. I just know that money can be a crazy thing that can really get you in a lot of trouble or it can do a lot of good. And if you don't set that straight from the beginning, then I think it could very, very easily get you in a lot of trouble. But my goal is to do a lot of good with my money. We talked about that on the last episode on Friday is if we're going to do something, then I want to make money to be able to do things bigger and better. And that's what I have a burden for. I have a burden to get this podcast monetized so we can continue to grow it and reach a bigger community and maybe start a shop or something like that where people can support and we can give out resources and content to help you. And so that's a big goal behind everything that we do here. And on the money and the intimacy, the last thing we talk about is the lack of intimacy was a problem that the pastor was saying was a number one leader. And I looked it up online, and it was sure enough that was it. Like lack of physical touch and intimacy was a problem for people. And if you're not communicating that in the beginning, if you have the wrong expectations, then obviously that's what's going to happen. Like you're going to get in the thing where maybe one person's drive is higher than the others. And then so now you're in a spot like, how do I figure this out? Well, if you don't communicate that stuff, you don't talk about that stuff, then it's just going to build and build and build, and it's not going to fix itself overnight. Trust me, you have to communicate. So I don't know what the gist of the show is, honestly. I told you it was going to be like 10 minutes. We're a little over. It was just something that I wanted to come on and talk about a little bit today. I know it's not a value-packed episode, but still wanted to just put out the content and hopefully help somebody out there. Like if of the hundreds of people that listen to the show, like I hope one person gets something out of this. And hey, if you do, then it's all worth it right there. I just want to help one person grow and be better. So be wise with your money. Talk about things. The intimacy issue, that was the number one cause of divorce. We don't want to see any divorce here on the show. We're not marriage counselors by any means. We've been married for 2 years. But I do know that I want to see people succeed in their marriages. We want to succeed in our marriages. We want to have healthy ones. We want to enjoy being married. Being married is supposed to be fun. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be hard times. We've been married for 2 years. We've had hard times. Nothing crazy, not like some of you have. But, hey, they've still happened, and you got to learn how to deal with them, how to grow, and how to move forward. So without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up. Would you leave us a rating and review if you do enjoy these shows? Share them with some of your friends, maybe your spouse, or they know some friends that would like to listen in, and let's grow this thing. Hopefully we'll come back next week. Hopefully we'll have a guest interview next week. Should be a really, really fun show. So stay tuned for that one. If you're not listening to the Marriage Mondays, if they're not your thing, maybe you're not dating right now, then come back on Wednesday and Fridays. We talk about real business stuff here on the show, talking about entrepreneurship, leadership, and everything else involved in business. So without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up, and we look forward to catching everybody here on the next episode.